All right, thank you guys for stopping in today. Not all gods are fun, and this god is kind of terrifying here. This is Oi, the sickness god of the Souk or Pokot of Western Kenya, of course, this being East Africa. And this is a deity who is associated with sickness, plague, disease, and curses. And we can see by his visual representation what this guy is all about. His symbolism is, or his symbol is a withering tree or a skeletal figure with sunken eyes. His sacred animals being carrier birds, particularly the vulture. So, the vulture is a dualistic image because it can represent so many other things. In this case, purely the death aspect. His sacred places are darkened forests, abandoned villages, and burial grounds. And in terms of mythology, he is the god of sickness, as I said, for the Souk people of Western Kenya, a figure of fear and reverence. Unlike benevolent deities who heal and protect, Oi embodies disease, affliction, and the unseen forces that bring suffering to humanity. He is neither fully malevolent nor merciful. His presence is a force of nature, a necessary counterbalance to the cosmic cycle of life and death. And the Souk believe that his breath carries illness, and when he whispers through the wind, plagues follow. His name is invoked with both fear and desperate pleas. Though he may bring suffering, appeasing him through proper rituals will lead to his withdrawal. Now, his abilities are very sinister. He is known for being a spreader of disease, and he commands plagues, fevers, and mysterious ailments that baffle even the most skilled healers. He is a curse bearer, and those who offend the gods or break sacred taboos may find themselves struck by his touch, their bodies wasting away as a sign of his displeasure. He is the spirit of the unseen, and unlike physical gods, he moves through an invisible mist, creeping through villages unseen until his work is done. He is the harbinger of decay. Crops wither, animals weaken, and entire communities will suffer if his gaze is left unappeased. Now, the Souk do not worship him in the way that they venerate protective deities. Instead, they seek to avoid his wrath. Shamans and elders conduct purification rituals, offering sacrifices such as goats or chickens to ward off disease. Herbalists and healers often invoke his name in reverence, attempting to cast away his influence rather than to draw him closer. Festivals for Oi are somber affairs, conducted at times of great plague or sickness breakouts. During these ceremonies, special herbs are burned to drive his spirit away, and communal offerings are left at the edge of villages, hoping to send him wandering elsewhere. Now, in terms of mythology, obviously there are other deities that were associated with spreading disease. The first that comes to mind is Sekhmet, who would bring disease, but she can also heal. In Greek mythologies, there is Eerie, a form of chaos rather than a god that is directly involved in destruction, but simply a chaotic element. And there's, of course, Pestilence, which is represented as one of the four horsemen in Abrahamic belief system. So again, we've seen this idea or concept of a entity that spreads disease been very common throughout other belief systems as well. Now, in the modern world, his influence still persists in terms of their spiritual practices. Some people still leave offerings to him during times of widespread illness, and herbalists acknowledge his presence when they're performing cleansing rites. In the contemporary storytelling, he is seen more as a primal force, one that manifests during pandemics, appearing in visions, or whisper in the winds before the outbreaks. His essence could serve as a mythological framework for discussions on disease, medical mysteries, or even the psychology of fear in the face of sickness. Comparing him to other deities is very fair in the sense of how he executes his task as far as being a disease spreader and the necessity of the role in the larger picture of maintaining the cosmic balance, that some things have to die so that new life can be reborn. If you have more to add to this piece on this terrifying deity, please, I welcome you to do so in the comment section.